So what had happened was I was at this party at my homeboy Fahim Pico's studio. I had a little too much to drink and I had to be taken home by my friends Divine and Jamila. I was too drunk to drive. My 1997 Ford Econoline van, affectionately referred by Kimberly Benz and Kimmy Bennings as Sweet Pickles. To this day, I don't know why they called it that, and I don't think they do either. Jamila and Divine were kind enough to drop me at my house. The next day, I was taken back to my beloved Sweet Pickles, and to my shock, some young buck had sprayed SUR13 on the side. Now, my van was no prize in appearance. It had an old business logo faded on the side. It was mostly white and kind of beat up. No AC, barely any heat, all struggle. To be honest, it looked like I kidnapped children. But still, this was my only means of transportation, as my luxurious Lincoln MKX had been repossessed as I dropped from a cushiony six-figure job to the wages of an independent artist who had no grasp of making a living off of my art. Boy, I was mad as Hades. I thought, let me find out who these SUR motherfuckers are so I could run up and get my payback. Luckily, I ran into my homeboy and master muralist Brandon Sadler, who informed me that this is not what I want, as SUR13 was short for Serenos 13, which was an offshoot of MS-13, a notorious street gang who had no problems with squabbles. As he was correct, I had no business involved in shootouts with no guns, so I thought, I need to change how this van looks ASAP. So I drove it home, and I thought, let me scribble out this tag so I can avoid drama. As I picked up a white aerosol can, the idea popped in my head that maybe I should design my destiny on the van. See, I had just read this book, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. It changed my perspective on all things intention, and I figured I'm gonna need some help from beyond. In the book, a line stood out: the universe conspires in your favor. At the time, I was creating these drawings called contraptions. They were overly complicated machines that produced a simple result. In this case, it would create the life I wanted as an artist. I had big plans, man, with little idea of how to do it. That didn't matter. It's what I wanted. And the universe would give us anything.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
So I created a contraption to deliver the career I wanted, and this is what it would look like. People would see it, and unbeknownst to them, they would believe in what I wanted, therefore powering my aspirations. Why not? So I got to work. On one side, I would have the contraption that had a wheel of inspiration. Number one, make my Uncle Larry Adams proud. He used to stay up with me as a child and draw with me until the early hours of the morning. Number two, Bill Maher, who talked about politics and was a straight shooter. So I had thought anyway, I don't know about now. Number three, to put Atlanta on the map as inspiration for the visual arts. Number four, a flower, which represented that I would always make things as beautiful as possible. Number five, to appear on CBS Sunday Morning, my favorite news program. To take it to another level, I painted with not just aerosol and acrylic, but it was fluorescent, so it would glow in the dark with the assistance of black light. On the other side, I put all the things that I did to create my work. Ideate, drink whiskey, create amazing playlists, smoke the best sativa, draw, paint, like the many-armed God Christian. All of this would travel through my third eye, which I believe connected to the universe to give me foresight to create that which would serve my purpose. Well, I was on some other shit, but it felt right, and best of all, I didn't care what people think. I had nothing to lose. Me and Sweet Pickles traveled around Atlanta for many summers and became an attraction wherever I went. I even opened the floor for other people on the street to randomly write on panel, as I used chalkboard paint so you could scribble words of encouragement. I wanted people to encourage me, as being an artist is another kind of difficult. On the hood, I placed a UFO because I was an AT alien and high-key a huge believer in the phenomenon. Don't get me started. I had no idea what I was doing, and that was okay. The van was featured in One Music Fest and Afropunk, and sadly, after years of being my ride or die, it died. The engine gave away and was left on the side of my Decatur home. It was towed away a couple of years later, and I actually shed a thug tear when I found out. Perhaps Sweet Pickles will be found one day and will sit in a museum because it was one of my first murals. And the rest is history.